Most people who start freelancing do it completely wrong. They pick the wrong niche, choose the wrong platform, they undercharge, or they burn out before they even get their first real client. So in this video, I'll walk you through the truth about freelancing, the mistakes that beginners must avoid, and the steps you should actually follow if you want to start freelancing the right way. So here's the reality. Freelancing is one of the easiest things to get started with, but one of the hardest to get right. And that's because anybody can create an account on Fiverr or Upwork, but very few people know how to stand out, how to pitch, or how to charge properly. And if you go in thinking that freelancing is quick and easy, passive, or guaranteed money, you're gonna quit in about a month. But if you go in with the right strategy, you can make consistent income, work from anywhere, and build skills that make you incredibly valuable. But let's go through some of the mistakes that you want to avoid. So mistake number 1, choosing the wrong platform. The first mistake beginners make is jumping onto the wrong platform, because all freelancing platforms are not equal. So let's take a look at a few. Fiverr. It's great for beginners, and it's probably one of the fastest platforms in terms of getting that first client, but it is low paying. Unless you niche down, there's a lot of freelancers on Fiverr and they are doing race to the bottom pricing, so they're charging incredibly low. So while you can start bringing in business there, it can be more difficult if you go a bit more general. Upwork. Now Upwork's great for long-term clients because you can get a client for Upwork and they will just repeatedly send you projects, and that's really nice to have. You can build long-term relationships fairly easily, and because of this there's higher earning potential. But it is very competitive, and if I'm honest, most businesses hire freelancers with reviews, which creates this chicken and egg situation where you need reviews to get those clients, but you can't really get the clients without the reviews. So it's a bit of a slog at the beginning just to build up the reviews in the first place in order to then start closing more projects. Contra. So Contra doesn't have any fees, which is good news, and it's great for creatives and modern digital jobs. But it is a smaller marketplace, so there are less jobs going around. LinkedIn. Now LinkedIn can essentially be the highest paying, and that's because you're not using a platform that restricts you. You can essentially set any price you like, talk to anybody, and take on any job. However, if you're going to go through LinkedIn, you do need a very professional looking profile, and your networking skills need to be pretty good as well. Because not everybody is looking to hire freelancers on LinkedIn, you'll be doing a lot of outreach to people that might not be interested. However, if you do find somebody on LinkedIn, you can get very high paying projects. In terms of looking at these platforms, I wouldn't say just pick the one you've heard of. I'd say pick the platform that fits your skill and experience level. Mistake number 2, selling everything. So another huge mistake freelancers make is they try to offer every service. Beginners think offering 10 different gigs increases their chances, but it doesn't necessarily do that. It makes you look a little bit unfocused and unprofessional. Clients don't want somebody that does everything. They want somebody that does one thing very well. Of course, if you build up a relationship with somebody and you want to then push them into another service you offer, that's fine. But in terms of getting started, make the focus be about one thing or one particular offering. If you do video editing, do video editing. And if you write scripts, write scripts. If you design logos, then design logos, and so on. Pick one skill, master it, and then stick to it. Mistake number 3, charging too little. So most freelancers, they start with extremely low prices. And it makes sense. You're starting off, you haven't got any reviews, so why would you charge a lot? And with these low prices, you might get a few orders because people are drawn in by the low pricing. But realistically, you're going to attract the wrong clients. Exhaust yourself and you'll struggle to raise prices later. A better strategy would be to start at a fair beginner rate. Deliver great work and build social proof, and then increase gradually. But you don't have to start incredibly low. Take a look what other beginners are essentially offering and match that, or even slightly increase it. People tend to give you more value in their heads anyway when you charge a bit more, because they think they're getting more for their money. So you actually help yourself in that way as well. I'm not saying charge a massive amount either. You still want to be competitive, but you just don't have to start incredibly low. So taking into account those mistakes, what should you do instead? So here are 3 things that every freelancer must have before they create an account. Number 1, one clear skill. As mentioned earlier, niche down on one thing, and then just push that and keep pushing until you get orders in that area. This can be video editing, social media management, Canva design, AI prompting, virtual assistants, script writing, web design. Just pick something you're skilled in and you want to do, and you can always expand later. Number 2, a simple portfolio. So you don't necessarily need a big website, you don't necessarily need years of experience, but you do need some sort of portfolio that looks good and showcases the work you can do. And to create this, you can have it on a single PDF, you can use Notion, you can use Canva, or you can have it hosted on Google Drive, and you just want to have 3 to 5 examples of your best work. Number 3, a clear offer. So clients don't hire you for the tasks, they hire you for the outcome. So when you're looking to offer something to your clients, you want to have a very clickable and appealing title to what you're doing. For example, I edit your videos so your channel grows faster. I design your social content so you get more engagement. I write scripts that keep viewers watching longer. I create ads so you get more sales. Sell the result, not the service. Once you've done all that, here's the easiest way to land your first client. Step 1, create a clean profile. So have a professional photo, a clear headline, a short description, and a portfolio attached. Step 2, pitch at least 5 to 10 clients per day. You can copy and paste the template, but I would personalize each one, especially if you're using something like LinkedIn. You want to send a message that the potential client knows you've written it out personally, or at least give that impression, but try and keep it short, personal, and direct. Step 3, over-deliver on your first few clients. So you want high quality work, you want fast communication, maybe even add a small bonus to them, try and give them a little bit of extra content, anything you can do to make their experience really good, as this will get you 5-star reviews, repeat clients, and potentially higher pricing later. Once you do a good job for them, you can expand your services and essentially build the relationship. But just be aware that freelancing, it isn't easy money, but it does give you control over your own finances and the pricing you set, and generally gives you more control over your time. If you don't want to do a salaried job, then this is going to be a good way for you to essentially earn your money outside of that. And the barrier for entry is pretty low. You just need to be motivated enough to keep working at it in order to get those first few clients. If you can avoid the common beginner mistakes, focus on one skill and follow a simple strategy, you can make this work. And if you don't really feel like you have many skills to offer, you can learn a lot of them for free. So many resources online, blogs, posts, YouTube videos, you can basically go through and do your research and start to learn skills yourself for free. And bear in mind, this is whether you want a side income or a full-time career, or eventually your own agency in the future if you want to go that route. Freelancing can open doors that traditional jobs can't. And if you want help getting started, I've got a freelancer starter pack on my Patreon. The link is in the description below. And if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.